Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever I may be watching or listening to me from. My name is AyoT. This is Eagle Striker, home of Nigerian football, and you are watching or listening to the Naija FC Podcast, where we bring you our raw, our honest, unfiltered opinions on all the hottest and latest topics in the world of Nigerian football. I'm going to have my co-host with me. He's running a little bit late because of the time change that has happened. So please bear with me. Smith Layi is coming. I know that you guys like Smith Layi. Smith Layi is coming. He's just running a little bit behind because again, the time has changed in the UK, and he has other things that he has to attend to at this point. But he'll be on. Without taking too much of your time, so that we can get this show maybe under 2 hours today by the grace of God. I know it's always hard, but let's try to get under 2 hours today. I'll start by doing a review of the past weekend's action. All the Nigerian, well, not all the Nigerian players. I say that we tracked over about, I think, over the three Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We tracked about 223 different matches that we had to follow just in case Nigerian players will be performing in those matches from about, I think it was 70 something leagues around the world. Some players did well, some players not so well, but I'm going to walk through those that had performances that were worthy of note, if I do say so myself. Um, Matthew Yakubu kept a clean sheet in goal for Banska Bistreka. Only made one save in the game, but kept a clean sheet. Arthur Okonkwo made three saves for Wrexham. Maduka Okoye kept a clean sheet for Udinese. And then Chiamaka Nadozie made six saves for Brighton, but unfortunately her team still fell to defeat in that one. Over in the defense, we had Rofia Timura with two interceptions, two clearances, and 7 goals, one for London City Lionesses, but her team fell to a defeat against Chelsea, I believe they played. Bruno Oyemechi with two blocks, four clearances, and 4 goals, one for Olympiacos in Greece. Oniniechi Zog with two blocks, 3 goals, one, three interceptions, 10 clearances for Perth Glory FC in their win as their season kicked off over there in Australia, down under. Calvin Bassey with a clean sheet, two tackles, 3 goals, one for Fulham in their 3-0 victory in the Premier League over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chibuke Nwanwu kept the clean sheet while making two tackles, two blocks, two interceptions, and 8 clearances and 8 goals, one for Wolfsberger AC in Austria. Over in the midfield, Peter Agba with one chance created and 8 goals for Maccabi Haifa in Israel. Anthony Dennis with one chance created, three interceptions, 7 goals, one for Göztepe in Turkey. AyoT Tom Dele Bashiru with two dribbles, 4 goals, one for Gen Club Beligi in Turkey. We have Jennifer Oninier Echegini with one assist for Paris Saint-Germain Femini in France. Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, three clearances, four dribbles completed, 9 goals, one for Pisa in Italian Serie A. Nelson Okeke with a goal, three tackles, three clearances, three interceptions, and 5 goals, one for Bohemians Praha in the Czech Republic. And then Quadri Adediran was on target with 1 goal for Artis. To the forwards, Goodness Ajayi, 1 goal and one assist for NK Opatia in Croatia. Anayo Iwala scored a goal for Al Arabi Kuwait. Alex Iwobi with 4 chances created for Fulham in England. Moses Simon was on target and also created 1 goal scoring chance for Paris FC. Sodiq Abujola scored 2 goals for Ceramica Cleopatra in Egypt. Praise God, Okechukwu scored 2 goals for Banska Bystrika. Kazim Aderomu was on target for Atmosfera Mazakai. Stanley Kanu scored 2 goals for MFK's Lynn. Salim Fagulawal got one assist for MK Istra. Philip Ejike, 1 goal for PFC Montana. Kingsley Emenike, 1 goal for FS Jelgava in Latvia. Prince Obasi with a goal for Grafika. Rashida Kombi, 1 goal and one assist for Boluspor in Turkey. Chibuikem Ikwemesi, 1 goal for OH Leuven. Hilary Gong, one assist for Spartak Trnava, and Abdurrahman Taiwo with 3 goals for Spartak Trnava. Lots of Nigerian players in action, lots of quality performances. This week, a lot of the big boys were not really among the top performers of the week, but we had a lot of, maybe not so big boys. I wouldn't call them small boys, not so big boys that played well over the week. And just to talk about a couple of them and highlight a few players. First of all, if you follow us on our Instagram at Eagles Tracker NG, you should be following us. If you follow us on our Instagram, you know that we usually post a list of games to watch before the weekend's action. We usually post a list of games to watch, and usually when we highlight certain games, like those games tend to be interesting games when you actually watch them. But for whatever reason, as God would have it, as fate would have it, this week's games to watch, a lot of them were dots. A lot of them were dots. A lot of them did not quite live up to the level of performance that I would have expected. We had Udinese against Atalanta, Maduka Okoye against Ademola Lookman. We're really hoping that it would be an exciting game, really, really hoping that it would be an exciting game. But what did I get at the end of the day? I got a 1-0 win for Udinese. Atalanta are really struggling this season. Ademola Lookman yet to really find his feet. But we got a 1-0 victory for Udinese. Nothing to really write home about. Maduka Okoye, of course, we're happy for him. He kept his first clean sheet since returning. So kudos to him. But guess what? He made a total of 0 saves in the game. So he just kept a clean sheet by default because Atalanta were so blunt in their attack that he didn't have anything to do over the weekend. So that game definitely did not live up to the expectations that we had. We had Ndidi Besiktas against Fenerbahce, nothing fantastic. We had Filippo Tele's Basel against Young Boys, nothing fantastic. We had Crisanto Suchi versus Frank Onyeka in Premier League. That one was always going to be a stretch. They were never going to start. Both of them, I think Onyeka, I'm not sure Onyeka even played at all. I think Uche played maybe chicken change minutes as he's been doing for. No, it was on the bench. He didn't come on in that game. So essentially just nothing really. We had Fulham against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Premier League boys, Naija FC against Tolu Arokodare's Wolverhampton Wanderers. That game was quite good. To be fair. Basi played well. Iwobi played well. Chukwueze came off the bench, struck the post. So he had a decent outing. Arokodare's Wolves, look, we knew what was coming. I'm sure he knew what was coming when he signed for Wolves. I'm sure his hope was that he would go there and at least do well enough that he doesn't have to struggle with them in the championship next season. Of course, in midweek, he scored a goal against Chelsea. It was a good finish, 1v1 against the goalkeeper, placed it quite well, finished well. We've always known that Arokodare can finish, so that doesn't surprise us. But then again, it was on the bench in the Premier League over the weekend. And Wolves are going to get relegated. It would be a miraculous event if Wolverhampton Wanderers somehow do not get relegated this season from the Premier League. And Arokodare, at this point, I'm just hoping that Arokodare can scam his way to 10 goals in the season. Like, I'm really just hoping, coming into the season as the top scorer in Belgium, coming to Wolverhampton Wanderers with Hwang Chan and Strand Larsen, you would have hoped and thought that Arokodare will somehow be able to go there and impress enough to show that he's better than those guys. But for whatever reason, he's not been able to start for Wolves. He's been a bench player. Of course, now their coach has been sacked, so maybe the new coach might favor Arokodare. But so far, his Wolves stint has been very, 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 very average. And Wolves as a team have been very, very poor. So 2 goals so far for Arokodare, both of them in the cup, one against Chelsea and the other against Everton. I'm hoping that he can pick things up. I'm hoping that he can score his first Premier League goal if he doesn't want to play in Championship next season. Because if you don't score in the Premier League, even if you score 5 goals, well, they're out of the cup now. Maybe FA Cup, you score another 3 goals. Even if you score 5 goals in the cups, if you don't score in the Premier League, it is going to be difficult for other Premier League teams to look at you and say, yes, this is the guy that we want. But if you can score 10 plus goals in the Premier League for a struggling team, another promoted side or one of those mid-table / relegation contending sides might look at you and say, we'll take a chance on you. So I'm really hoping that things change for Arokodare and things change for Wolves. But this weekend, it was the Fulham party. Alex Iwobi, I thought Alex Iwobi was fantastic against Wolverhampton Wanderers in their 3-0, Fulham's 3-0 victory. I thought Iwobi played a very, very fine game. Continues to show his versatility on the field, continues to show his dynamism, continues to beg the question, why can't Nigeria play him or use him like this? Honestly, because Alex Iwobi is such a good player when he plays for Wolves, for Fulham rather. He created 4 chances in the game. He was everywhere, covered a lot of ground. Just an all-round top performance from Alex Iwobi. Look, 90% passing accuracy. I think the only thing that Iwobi does not show is shooting. Iwobi cannot shoot. Iwobi shoots like a 10-year-old girl. That's the only thing with Iwobi. Although every once in a while he will blast a rocket, but only Iwobi shooting that makes me laugh sometimes when he plays for Fulham. Every other thing, play him on the flank, he will do well. Like somebody just rightly mentioned, he played in a double pivot and he still puts in a quality performance. I really like Alex Iwobi for Fulham. Quality player, the most consistent Nigerian player this season at a high enough level. I don't count those playing in Turkey. Turkey is not a high enough level. The most consistent Nigerian player playing this season at a high enough level, Alex Iwobi. Others have not quite lived up to expectation. Just fantastic player. We'll get into Super Eagles talking a little bit, so we'll talk about Iwobi maybe a little bit more. By that time, I believe Smith Layi would have joined us on today's program. So yes, Maduka Okoye, first clean sheet for him. We're happy for him. Osimhen versus Onuachu in the Turkish Super League. That was a dud of a game. That's another game that we highlighted as a game to watch. Really hoping that Osimhen and Onuachu, those are the guys that are fighting for golden boot in Turkey. So I was really anticipating that these guys are going to go and are going to show something and are going to be fantastic. Osimhen, maybe I was thinking Osimhen maybe scored 2 goals, Onuachu scored 2 goals, the game ends 3-3 or 3-2 or something. Both players were bang average in the match. Osimhen was bang average, Onuachu was bang average. The game was a dud as a whole. Nobody, in fact, I was hoping for 3-0, 3-2, whatever. The game ended 0-0. 0-0. 2 contending teams in Turkey. First against third. Somehow they could not score. So it was just a very I remember I was watching the game, I stopped. And usually when I'm watching a game that features Nigerian players, I usually don't stop leaving the game. Like I watch it then. Lots of shots, but just nothing. And I was just very like the Osimhen and Onuachu in particular that I was watching for were just not giving me enough. Osimhen had 6 shots, nothing. Onuachu even was quite poor in the game. Did not even get a chance to shoot in the entire match. So it was just not what I expected it to be. Unfortunately for us, but we can trust that against somebody said Osimhen had a secondary school miss one chance. But we can trust that against the Osimhen is playing against Ajax in midweek in the Champions League. He'll probably score against Ajax, to be fair. And as things go on, we're expecting more goals from these 2 players. Don't get me wrong. I can never doubt the quality of Victor Osimhen, but that game in particular was a very big dud and was not what we wanted to see. But yes. And then over the weekend, another thing to note, the performance of Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. Ebenezer Akinsanmiro steadily building up his reputation in Italian Serie A. From quality performance to quality performance, Akinsanmiro continues to show that he can hold his own in one of the top 5 leagues of European football. He has put in consistently good performances, from the assist against AC Milan to the quality cameo against Lazio to running it for Pisa against Torino. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this kid. He's strong on the ball. He's very composed. One of the key things of a midfield player is being able to think and being able to see ahead and not, rush, not give the ball away. And Akinsanmiro does this quite well. He's a youngster, so there's always going to be a few errors here and there. That's to be expected. But for the most part, his performances are clean. His passing is pinpoint. He doesn't panic. He can receive the ball under pressure. He's strong. He can hold his own. The game against Lazio when he played against Guendouzi, and he showed that he's a fighter as well. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this boy. I think that he has developed in the right way so far. Ebenezer Akinsanmiro is somebody that had a lot of hype on him as a very, very young guy. And gradually, steadily, he's starting to show that the hype that he had as an upcoming, academy player that he deserves the hype. He's starting to show that he deserves the hype. Consistency is important. He has to keep it consistent over the course of the season, over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 years. But I think that the boy is setting himself up to be a guy that Nigerian players potentially fall in love with. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing from him. And I mean, when we talk about Super Eagles, I'll talk about him a little bit more. But the game against Torino this weekend, he did very, very well, in my opinion. He was everywhere on the field, you know. And yeah, just a quality performance from Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. And kudos to him for that one. Kudos to him for that one. Anybody have any thoughts on Ebenezer Akinsanmiro? How do you guys feel about Ebenezer Akinsanmiro? How do you feel about his performances by the weekend? How do you guys feel about Ebenezer Akinsanmiro and his performance by the weekend? I want to get some thoughts before I move on. Uche says his vertical and diagonal passes on both feet are good. So Uche is praising Ebenezer's passing. And I believe in the game against Torino, completed 79% of his passes. So quite accurate, a passer in the midfield. And he hit the woodwork once in that game as well. So completed all 4 dribbles that he took on. Good performance from the boy. Good performance from the boy. Okay. David Jonathan says, yeah, Akinsanmiro is consistent and composed, very composed. 4 dribbles, 8 goals, 8 ground goals, 1 game from the bench lasted 20 minutes and won the most tackles. Yeah, great defense and offense. Balanced midfielder. Okay, moving on very quickly. Shout out to Ademola Lookman. Like I mentioned earlier, scored his first goal since returning to action against Milan. Unfortunately, the game over the weekend wasn't as good, but we're happy to see Ademola Lookman back on the score sheets in midweek. Really hoping that that's going to fuel him, that's going to, motivate, inspire, ginger, whatever word you want to use, because obviously we know what he went through this summer, wanting to leave his club, not being able to leave the club, feeling like the club let him down, feeling like promises were broken. Just, I'm really hoping that things turn for Ademola Lookman. I'm really hoping that things turn. I was happy when he scored, then his performance over the weekend wasn't so good. And we know Lookman is a baller. Like we know Lookman is a baller. Last season, 20 goals and 6 assists. So we know that he has that quality in him. It's just that the entire Atlanta team is struggling, and then with everything that he has gone through, he just hasn't quite looked like himself. But I'm expecting things to turn around for him. I'm expecting positive results in the future, positive performances in the future. And, it's going to be an interesting one to see how the season develops for Ademola Lookman, because the money that Atalanta wanted plus the kind of move that Lookman wanted, if this season continues the way that the season is going, I doubt if either party will get what exactly they wanted. I doubt it. The way Lookman is playing, I don't think nobody's going to pay that 50 plus million. And the way Lookman is playing, I don't think any big team will see this and be excited by it. Not that he cannot still join a big team, but it's going to be few and far in between the options, I think, based on the way this season is going so far. So hopefully maybe the AFCON sparks him into life, the World Cup qualifiers in March spark him into life, and then things can change for him as the season continues and as the season progresses. But as of now, nothing really to be excited about. Okay. Finally. Shout out to Moses Simon. Shout out to Moses Simon. Scored his 3rd goal of the season against AS Monaco. Moses Simon might not score that many goals in a season, but he scores in some of the big games that his team plays, and he scores important goals for his team. And he was the sole goal scorer as Paris FC, to the surprise of many, defeated AS Monaco away from home in Monaco in the French Ligue 1. His 3rd goal of the season, 53rd minute strike. And yes, I'm just happy for Moses Simon. Of course, this is good for him leading up to the international break. We know that Simon is going to be in the Nigeria squad, knock on wood, unless something drastic happens. And after putting in 2 not so great performances against Nantes and against Lyon, he was able to step up again and recover himself. If he can give us those 2 assists that he did against Benin Republic in international break, Nigerians will be pretty happy with him. So I was happy that he scored a goal, and their next game is on the 7th of November against Rennes. So let's see how he can continue his form. But I have to just give him credit for this past weekend and his performance. So yes, and on that note, let me introduce my co-host. He let us know that the time difference was working against him. So thank you for understanding, guys, and thank you for taking it easy on him. But yes, Smith Layi is here. Smith Layi, welcome.
Yeah, nice to be here again. As you said already, that apologies, guys. Time difference, the mathematics is not really. I've not even stopped mathematics now because after the World Cup qualifier, I'm still doing the maths of that time just to make sure that I'm here on time. But I will try and make it slightly words earlier. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you.
Smith Layi, I was just doing my roundup of the weekend's performances. Are there any players that stood out to you? I highlighted Alex Iwobi against Wolves, Akinsanmiro against Pisa, Simon. Of course, Lookman scored in the midweek. Okoye just kept his first clean sheet after coming back. Anybody that stood out to you or that impressed you over the weekend, over the week?
For me, I have to highlight Alex Iwobi. A lot of people have been talking about how Eguavon, Pesero, even Eric Shell have been playing Iwobi in that double pivot. But he did the same thing. I could see did the same thing for Alex Iwobi. He went deep to actually take the ball. He was the one he was the chief creator, on that in that team. He actually played from deep. So I was really impressed about his startup, the way his positioning, and how he was able to actually push that team. So I was really impressed. And you highlighted Alex Iwobi, and that was what he did on BBC Sports too. Because they have to pick out Alex Iwobi, and I was so impressed, proud to be a Nigerian because the way they picked him out, and I saw that tactical analysis of Alex Iwobi games, I was like, I was so impressed. So for me, Alex Iwobi actually did well. And I have to talk about Moses that Simon, you don't score against Monaco and we can't just, say, oh, come on, you don't score much often. So for me, I was really actually impressed also with what Simon did. As you said, he doesn't score a lot of goals. He'd like to play the final ball for him to score against Monaco. Monaco is not a small team. Actually, we're very happy for Alex Iwobi. As for what's score for Simon. And I'll talk about Akinsanmiro too. A lot of people I know that we're going to talk about him later, actually. A lot of people are talking about, maybe probably you should be there. I sent you a text, if you remember. I know it's a private conversation, but I told you your opinion. I want to know your opinion, not on here opinion. Your raw opinion about the boy. Yes. And you were so impressed about the boy too. So it's not as if we're just coming here to tell you. For me, I was so impressed with Akinsanmiro too. What even impressed me more about him is his press resistance. That is the issue. The way he takes the ball under pressure. And since Mikel Obi left the national team, we've not had any player that can handle the ball under pressure like this boy is actually doing. He was playing against Gendouzi, playing against AC Milan, playing against the big boys, the Torino team, very experienced team. He was able to actually to match up with them. So for me, I was so impressed with Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. That press assistant is what I really also would like, and that's what I've been missing in our national team.
Amazing. Shout out to all those players. Okay, let's carry on very quickly. As Smith Layi, I'm trying to challenge us this week to keep it under 2 hours if it's possible. But yes, let's move on. CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
The sole Nigerian contenders, Rivers United. Shout out to Rivers United and the people of Port Harcourt. They've been grouped in Group A with Pyramids, RS Berkane, and Power Dynamos. Pyramids is from Egypt. Power Dynamos is from Zambia, I believe.
Zambia.
And RS Berkane is from what country again?
It's from Algeria. No, it's from Morocco. Sorry,
Morocco. RS Berkane, yes, from Morocco. Smith Layi, you are very active. You watch closely in the continental competitions. You watch even teams from other African countries. How would you rate Rivers United's chances against Pyramids, RS Berkane, and Power Dynamos?
If they win their own games, we qualify. if they could win their own games to qualify. See, we said these things several times. Last year, I remember when Raymond crashed out, and we came back to say that no Nigerian team again in the CAF Conference Cup or CAF Champions League. But you have to give them their flowers because for them to progress, after 80 years, it's actually it's not a small feat. So, but progress to this one should be a step. But can they progress? They can. But one thing that can work for them is that they have to play their game at home. You cannot be playing away from home, and you expect to actually have that home advantage. So I'm also using this medium to also appeal to the governor of River State, Sir Simlai Fubara, and also Nyesom Wike, the FCT Prime Minister. Sorry, the FCT Minister.
Prime Minister.
The FCT Minister. That's please. I don't know how much they're going to spend to repair their Adoki and Osimhen Stadium in Port Harcourt, but I just think that they should fix it. This is where these guys could have an advantage. You cannot see from Port Harcourt to Uyo. It's a long journey. We saw what Libya did now. I don't think we say they cannot travel. It's a long journey. They have to fix that stadium. For me, I rate them very highly. I think they will beat Power Dynamos at home. I think they will beat Power Dynamos at home. I think if they play well, they can beat Red Bekin, at home. But Pyramid is the big fish in Africa currently now. If they even won the Arab Champions League, they have this striker. I hope he moves to Alali before they play against Rivers. And what's his name again? Their top striker, scoring every week again. I forgot his name. He's the biggest player in Africa. He was nominated for the CAF Player of the Year. Let's go.
Why don't I remember?
Yeah,
I forget his name.
I
said I'm forgetting his name, but
yeah, I'm forgetting his name actually. But you guys can actually just remind us.
Somebody remind us.
In the comment section, remind us in the comment section. Very, very good player. So for me, I think their home games, winning their home games is very key to progress. That is actually what I'm talking about. So, and also I also expect that Mayele, thank you, Mayele. And also, if possible, they should be able to buy more players that can make them actually compete well. For me, I still think that the forward line needs, they need a lot of players to actually to be for that forward line. I'm still not pleased about Enel Cone. Enel Cone, he's a journeyman from Redmond to everywhere. He's doing his beat. But for me, I still think that Enel Cone can be someone that can take them to, to the next level. I just think that they need a very better striker. If they can even get Mboma of Redmond Stars on loan, he's a very, very good player. Yes.
Okay. You said if they win their home games, and you're saying that they need to fix their stadium so that they can actually play in their city and not have to go to Uyo or to play their games. Do you think that's something that's actually going to happen?
I've been monitoring, movement around that area too. They'll be renovating that stadium every year. I don't know the contractor, so that has been renovating that stadium every year. So anytime they call CAF to come and assess the stadium, their commissioner of sports went on live TV to even boast that they're going to host Super Eagles in that stadium. That is so ready that they can even hold the World Cup final. The first test they did there, they failed the test. They would just put the shovel in the ground. The CAF officials just dip it out. They did a nonsense job there. So that was the first thing they just no. In fact, it was straight away they told them that it's not fit enough to host CAF games. So for me, I think they need a proper work to do. Remo is doing that's it's not for this year CAF Champions League, they are out now, but for next year they want CAF to accredit their stadium so that if they want to play in CAF Champions League next year, at least they're going to be playing at home, not playing away from home in Abeokuta. So home advantage is so key in this actually world competition. So for you, imagine having Pyramid visit you in Port Harcourt. You can have a full stadium because you know that the Pyramid players are big boys on the African continent. So you can have a full stadium. It will generate more revenue for the club. So in my opinion, I just think that it's so key that they can actually they should fix that stadium because in due respect, Yusubaja is the one maintaining Akpabio Stadium. It's just a throne stone there. Why can't you call him? Why must you call Money Michel or the other? Just call someone that can fix the stadium very well for you. At least do it once. Do it once. For example, now, Yusubaja will know the criteria to pass any CAF assessment. So just bring somebody that can fix it for you. That's it.
Hopefully we can see some of these changes, so that they can actually play at home. But the way things are looking, the Rivers United squad, are there any players that you are tipping to go and shine on the continental stage? Some of the Rivers United players that you think can go and make a difference and maybe make a name for themselves in this competition.
You have to look at their central defender. He also played in the Chan team. Okon is one of their key players, and I think that one of the things that if you remember Okon used to play for Ghana 20 before. If you remember, under Coach Paul Aibogun, he went to the World Cup along with Vicente. What is it called? This guy's name of Zone 1-4. In 2019. Valentine was Zone 1-4. So it was actually there, a very key player, in that team, and I think really George too. He liked so much on actually what on him. So another player is like Moyo. Moyo is a defender, and it was part of the team that went to disgrace Nigeria in Tanzania. What's it called, in Kenya, Tanzania, and so on. So for me, that player too, very commanding presence in that defense. And they also have this Boluwatife. They used to play under Damboso in the under 20 team. It's pairing Moyo in that central defense. A very, very good player too. So it was the player that was dropped for Fredericks in that first Boso team. So it's called Boluwatife. So for me, I think that the players can do well, but if you say that they do well, to what extent? Is it for national team call up? I don't think so.
No, not even forget national team. It's just do well enough to make sure that at the end of the tournament, people are saying your name. People are looking at you as one of the players that performed. You help to put your club on the map of African football a little bit more. Just to make your impact. That's all.
Yes. And I also, when you tell them that they want to go to Europe, so which is not actually what if you also say which map? Say Stevie Manyo, Stevie Manyo, Faladu too, very, very good player. But for me, I think Stevie Manyo, in that defense line is someone. I don't know why I benched him for Ngenge in that Chan team, but maybe Eriche saw something that we did not really actually see. So I think
maybe Ngenge is a youngster, so maybe he wanted to
get maybe somebody is a youngster that can actually work and can promote. In fact, Ngenge has really it was really bad with Raymond Stars too. So in my opinion, I think it was very bad to drop Steve Manyo, honestly. Very, very solid player, honestly. I don't know the reason why Manyo is still in Nigeria. I don't know. I think that he's a player that is good enough at least to play in Tanzania, not Tanzanian league. To play maybe in where this guy is now. Chibuke
Austria.
I think Manyo can play there.
Okay.
I think Manyo can play there. It's very, very, when you hear reliable defender, now.
But maybe the age is the issue now, because with someone like Manyo now wanting to go to Europe at 25, they will probably be looking for somebody that is a more refined. 25, you are getting to the peak of your powers. So they might be looking for different qualities. Because someone like an Iwobi now, Iwobi join them at what, 21?
21.
So like they know that they will still get the best of him in the next 4, 5, 6 years. If you can even sell him if he does well enough. But Manyo, you can't really sell.
Manyo is 26, 25.
Yes, I'm saying you can't really sell. If he plays 1-2 years, already 28. How much do you want to sell him for?
Sorry, I forgot to mention one name because he played for Nigeria during Chan 2. It's called Abdurrafel Taiwo. I don't know, maybe the left back for that that played the first 2 games. I think before he got injured, also played for that particular team. So they have like a decent back line now. So if you have a back line of like Bolu, Sholomade, Stephen Manyo, Rafiu Taiwo, Abdurrafiu Taiwo. Come on, it's not a bad back line, actually. That back line can play for Chan team.
Okay. So hopefully they can show us something, We don't want to have to be reporting every week that Rivers United have lost again.
They also have Friday Obongo. Friday Obongo is also a very good player. Friday Obongo was I think was part of the Nigerian under 23 or under team sometimes ago. Friday Obongo was actually a very, very good player too. So somebody mentioned Wasif Alolu, good guy.
Okay. So age is just a number, ask Brother Miller. True. But at the end of the day, for these people, it's business. It's not just about they are not doing let's help an African. It's about business and what they can do, especially with all those lower level European teams that are really looking to sell. It's something that's very important to them. Okay. That's that on CAF Champions League. Oh no, before we move on. So officially give us your prediction. Where do you think they'll finish in the group? First, second, third, fourth?
I'll give you two predictions, my head and my heart.
Okay.
Based on I've watched them play. Despite that I watched the game, the 3-1 they won through a amateur phone. At least I've watched them play the away game. I've watched them play, and I will say that with respect for the judge, I think they will crash at the group stage, and they will finish last in that group. But my heart is saying that I want them to qualify. I want them to win all their home games. And I want them to draw maybe against the Tottenham in Zambia, to get 10 points. I don't see them drawing against RS Berkeley. That one at 6-0 or 6-1. I don't see them drawing against Pyramid with due respect to them. Those two games, I don't see them drawing. But I think that against Tottenham in Zambia, they can do something.
They can beat Power Dynamos, I think.
They can beat Power Dynamo. But it's just that they can beat Power Dynamo at home. I know that.
You don't think they can beat them in Zambia?
It depends. Because it depends on. But for me, I don't really see them winning.
And Power Dynamos, they are struggling this season in the Zambian Super League.
Yes. So
they are currently 11th. After winning the league last year, so they're not at the
league. But the issue, where is Remo?
On the MPFL table.
Yes.
Well, Remo is what relegation zone now, 17.
After winning the league last year. So that's the problem with Africa. Like what Africa, East Africa, they don't know how to manage squad. When they win the league, to retain it go very hard for them.
Because everybody would leave and go somewhere.
Will leave and go somewhere. And the squad for the Champions League, they cannot really travel. And for example, now, after Rivers won 3-1 against Blackpool, on Wednesday, they played against Ikorodu. They couldn't beat Ikorodu at all.
Yeah, 0-0.
0-0. So, in fact, that game was they've lost that game because there was one questionable offside that I've never seen that type of offside before. It was miles onside. So, for me, this is what normally actually what happen when they win the league. So, to manage that success is always a big problem. Because Remo will not win the league again. In fact, they will struggle to even make top 2 or top 3.
Where, ever, or this season?
This season. The reason is because
this is their relegation zone and for them to be hard. But to be honest, it's only 6 points and they are back in the mix again. So
see, when you say relegation zone, Ikorodu City, they were in relegation zone. And they finished 4th or so.
Yeah, 4th last season.
They were also in the first half of the season. MPFA is a magic league.
Anything can happen.
Somebody can be last now and finish. Depends on how you can prosecute your match very well. Yes. How to prosecute your match very well, yeah. And sorry, before you go, Remo 2, they are playing most of their games away from home now. So they're going to have a stretch of home games when they finish that season. So we expect back-to-back wins. Yes.
All right. Moving ahead. Under 17 World Cup. Smilai.
Yes.
The Under 17 World Cup is back and is back again without the record champions, the 5-time champions, missing out second edition in a row. How does that make you feel as a Nigerian?
I watched all the games today, and I felt sad. Under 17 is like my baby team. And if you have followed Nigerian football for decades, you understand that our major recruiting grant is the under 17 team, and the evidence is there. Yanajo, Ngeji, Osimhen, Chukwueze. These are like the players that play at Iwobi that play at the under 17 level for Nigeria. Even 2017 one, that didn't qualify. And then the goalkeeper in Greece was the captain, Iwobi. These are like our major.
Olakunle Olusegun, that is in Super
Eagles. Yes, 2019. These are like our major recruiting grants. And for the past 3 editions now, we will not be going to the tournament. That's actually very shameful. Well, it speaks like when you probably, the future don't seem actually very bright. Because we have to be honest ourselves. Because if you cannot get into the World Cup, not even the AFCON, AyoT, we can't even get to the AFCON. Because if you get to the AFCON, CAF will pick about 10 teams, automatically going to go to the World Cup. But now, we cannot get to the AFCON. That is actually very big. And it shows that there's nothing happening back home. There's nothing happening back home. Because, when Ibrahim Gusso became the NFL president, I know that he also met the mess, Grant 2, under Maju Pinnick 2, who also failed several times to qualify for this same tournament. But he said that under him, that no foreign-born player will play for Nigeria underage. That it's not going to be possible. That they should be domestic-based players. But AyoT, we are in a state that nothing is happening at all. Our only option are the kids, and your kids, my kids, everyone abroad. So if you cannot open up national team and say, okay, as far as you are in Nigeria, you can compete at any level for your country, as far as you recognize yourself as a Nigerian. It's already, that's bringing danger. So in my opinion, I just think that it's a bad thing. And I think that if we don't correct it now, in fact, the impact in the next 4 or 5 years, you will struggle to qualify for AFCON. People talk about let's do it again. The let's do it again that we're doing now is let's do it again by going to AFCON. Not let's do it again by going to AFCON. As I said, AyoT, this might be funny, but AyoT, that's a reality. I spoke to a Super Eagles player, and he said that we just said, I better go. Me Osimhen, don't get injured though. The way I said that we're talking about Osimhen. And I mentioned what of 50 this player get injured? I don't want to mention one name that you actually would mention. Will you praise him? I criticize him so much. The player plays in our midfield. He said that out of those balls I mentioned, nobody can bench him. He said nobody can bench him. He even said that even in his position, nobody can bench him. He mentioned like 5 positions. Nobody can bench him. Now I mentioned the guy that is currently injured now, hamstring. So what about your guy that I don't want to go, so I don't want to go this is. So that quality past quality, he's honest. Said it, what that guy that is currently on hamstring injury brings is different too. Say he go give you rest of mind. So the problem is that we don't have players coming up, and our under 17 now give us what players. Agents are now the ones running our under 17. So this is a very, very big thing. And if the glass house they don't do anything about this thing, I also think that we're gonna be in trouble. We're gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be immediate. Not in 5 years time. In 3 after this World Cup. If I pray we qualify, if we don't qualify, might not make the next AFCON.
Big talk. But I'll ask this question. Before I ask the question, I have to say, like, it is disappointing. It is shameful. I mean, we know that there's now going to be a World Cup for under 17 year after year after year.
Yes.
That's why I've made it like that. And can you imagine if for 4 or 5 consecutive years Nigeria is not able to take part in this competition? It will be a big shame. And these things, it's a result of mistakes that we've made in the past. Lack of planning, lack of preparation, lack of organization, lack of a developmental plan. I've interviewed myself, Randy Wardrum, on the women's side. We know that even Eric Shaw kind of hinted at it in his interview that he did with Shegun Odegbami. What is the plan? What is the structure? What is the process? Randy Wardrum said on the women's side when he came in, he came and he offered them a 10-year plan of how, okay, maybe in 8 years, Super Falcons can win the World Cup and we'll have several girls that have come out of Mushin, come out of Owerri, all these places to become global superstars. Since the day he dropped the plan on their table, they've not opened it to read up the plan or called him to say, oh, let's talk about this, your plan. I can imagine very similar happens on the men's side. Eric Shaw probably said, okay, I know you hired me to qualify for the World Cup, but I have some ideas, I have some plans. Here are my plans, let's talk about it. They probably did not call him back to say, okay, let's actually talk about how we can implement this plan. Because my own is, even if you don't want to keep a coach, there is nothing that says that you cannot implement a plan that's provided by somebody. And if the guy is not quite working, you can let him go after some time, but at least there is a plan. You wonder what the technical department actually does. You actually wonder, like, all due respect to Cerezo, like in that his office every single day, like, what does he actually do? Is it only when it's time to select squad they will come together and say, oh yeah, look at this player, look at that player? Like, what do they actually do? How do they want our football to be in the future? How do they want us to keep developing talent? And it's a shame. And like you said, with now that a lot of agents have influence here and there, in fact, coaches are now agents are now coaches. Everybody is trying to dip their hand into the pool because at least they know if they sell one player 100,000, 200,000, they can make some money here and there. It's very bad for our development, and unfortunately, like you said, this thing is going to keep happening. It's so easy to gain weight. It's not that easy to lose weight. If you just eat, you gain weight. If you're not, I don't fat to. I mean, I start the gym. You have to gym for 1 year before you even come down small. So that's exactly what it is. We've been eating. We've not been thinking about it. Now that it's time for us to think about it, we can't keep up. And like you rightly mentioned, our under 17 has always been the path that that when you spot some quality talents in under 17, give them 5 years, these guys will become something. They'll be top quality players. A lot of the players that we have that are doing well now in Nigerian football, they started from the under 17 stage, but unfortunately, we've just skipped that developmental path completely, and it is going to be so hard. It is honestly going to be so hard for us to be able to come back to the levels that we were at. And I know some people might say, oh, in the past we used to age cheat, we used to do this, we used to do that, but at least there were some that you knew that were honest about their ages. There were some that you knew that were just honest, quality talents, and there was a path. But then, as the rest of the world has been working and the rest of the world has been catching up, unfortunately, we haven't been doing the same thing. And I mean, I don't want to go as far as you said, Smith Layi, that maybe we'll be struggling to qualify for an AFCON, but see, eventually everything is going to catch up eventually if you don't start to do the right things, if you don't start to make changes, because other people are working, other people are preparing. South Africa won their game today in the 17 World Cup. I think, did Morocco lose? I think
Morocco lost. Tunisia won 6-0. I was 5-0, 16.
Other teams are working, and it's only us, man, that were just there, just like, okay, just wait now. Maybe another Osimhen will pop up in Onuachu, or another Iwobi will pop up in Owerri somewhere. We can't keep doing things like this. You'll be doing, instead of putting in place a proper plan that you will know how you will track players from their youth under 13 all the way up to under 7, so that you can call them. You just be waiting for your open trials. Then every coach, every agent will say, my boy is here, this boy is there, this boy, that boy. And like Ada J3 says in this his comment here, it says, NFF, look at Morocco, Senegal, etc., and have a plan. At the end of the day, this CAF president, when I say CAF president, I mean the president of all the CAF member associations. They have group chats. They are all friendly with each other. At least they know each other. Even if it's to just say, humble yourself and just say, Senegal, if you have to get translator, interpreter, get interpreter, and say, Senegal, oh yeah, how far? How are you guys doing this thing? How are you successful at this level? Oh, Morocco, how are you doing it? How are you successful? We don't quite have the facilities, but we want to learn one or two things. You travel on all these international trips. You hang out with FIFA presidents. You hang out with presidents of all these different nations, in football presidents of all these different nations, and you don't learn anything. You don't learn anything. I don't want to say all they're learning is how to collect money, because it seems like that's what they're learning. The playbook now, come and do NFF.
Why do you want to say? Why do you say this? Maybe when you were trying to do some content for some people in the club, you were asking you for 1 million naira. Say, are you going to make 1 million naira from all this thing? It's not about money. They don't think about what they can benefit later. It's about money.
It's all about, and unfortunately, like, well, we're not doing well enough, man. I really just don't hope that it becomes a dire. I really hope it doesn't become a dire situation, because for now it is embarrassing. But our first teams are still giving us a level of clout and a level of, if the Super Eagles and Super Falcons stop performing, it will really open our everything for everybody to see. It will naked us in public and let us see how bad Nigerian football actually is. Under 17 female best loser flogged in round of 16. Under 20 male
Flogged mercilessly.
best loser flogged in the round of 16. You go to the Continental AFCON, you struggle, maybe you finish third, or if you are lucky, you come second. And these things cannot continue like this. Again, Super Falcons are the only ones that are even winning. Super Eagles, they are scratching the surface. And Super Eagles, we know that it's not a result of planning or anything like that. It's just a result of a lot of generational players, just coming in at the right time, as well as the influx of some of these foreign-born players. But again, without a plan, other people, Morocco caught up, they've surpassed us. Ivory Coast, they were there, they went down, they've come back to come and catch us again. And this thing is going to happen if we don't do anything. If we don't do anything, it's going to keep on happening. It is a shame, but I mean, that's the state of our football right now.
Yeah. I want to just say some. You mentioned a few points about Cerezo. See, I'm not his fan. I'm not a big fan of Cerezo, because I just think that when you are in a place that you cannot talk, why? What are you doing there? Resign and leave that post. But I suppose some people say, if we resign now, we'll give him a job again. Things like that. Will he go and expose the rot there? I'm hearing that Cerezo scouted some players and gave it to the coach. This sacked coach, Ali Zubero, that the players can be considered. They are foreign-based players. They've left the academy, can be considered. And he didn't listen, because they know that Cerezo is not powerful. So what's his business? He went to the players he wanted to do. They did deals here and there, 40, 60, and everything. You can see as they flopped. I'm not sure that they want to buy any of the players now, except the one they're promoting on Instablog. Maybe Jesse will buy it. So that is his player. His promotion on Instablog. Maybe Jesse will buy it. That's what they are trying to do. So, and talking about seeing that he might not get to qualify for the AFCON. See, when we won the AFCON in 2013, some players left the national team. We struggled to qualify for AFCON 2 years. The reason is because, one, the home-based player that we used in 2013, they have reached their peak. Players like Godfrey Babuna, Azubu Igwe, Solomon Kwambe, and so on. They have reached their peak. They dropped. So we're not looking for players. That was when we went to go and get Sonia Aluko. You remember Sonia Aluko?
Yes.
The Aluko. Went to go and get. Can you see? Went to go and get Aaron Simon from was it Austria also? No, it was Aaron Simon. Went to go and get Aaron Simon. In fact, there was one guy was a mistrace that he was trying to communicate with him. Say, my brother. He doesn't even know his name. He was calling my brother. In New York, so my brother. See here. He doesn't even know his name. That was what happened after. 2017 we also failed to qualify. So when we brought in our foreign-born players, we went to 2019 AFCON, went to the World Cup, things become stable. AyoT, please, maybe probably one of these, you have to dive deep into this, maybe as a content. Take Nigerian players born abroad, take them from national team. And the ones that play age grade 2, take them from national team. Then look at the players we have. Because if we don't have foreign bonds coming in now, and our under 17 and 20 is suffering, we don't have players coming through. Take those ones away from national team and now go and play them in AFCON qualifier. Yes, go and play them in AFCON qualifier. You will start see Ismail Sadiq as a right back. I don't know. That's the people you would play. With due respect to these players. So the thing that's coming, I just pray that these guys can see it than to be fighting Chibuke on Twitter. You guys can see it. AyoT, what is coming is very, very bad. And I hope that these guys can look for a way to avert it. What is coming is really bad. Honestly, it's really, really bad. And let me just say something finally about the CAF issue. Also, too, shame on CAF too. See, when you talk about slots, you give slot based on the way they perform. In the past, Nigeria won 5 17 crowns. Ghana won 2. Both Nigeria and Ghana will not play they're not participating in this what's it called? This U17 World Cup. Why? Because of this CAF politics. So they gave West African B only 2 slots. So Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Ghana. Nigeria won 5 times, Ghana twice. Burkina Faso was in the final of 2001 against Nigeria. Ivory Coast have also performed well. So if it's like this, at least I don't know, maybe Ibrahim Gusso currently now is the president of Wafubi. I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with this man. Why can't you go and talk that the CAFA with Somalia and so on? They did not, Somalia go to tournament to get 7-0, 8-0. COSAFA, none of the teams have even progressed to the second round before, na 17. COSAFA had what? 3 slots. Why will Wafu A have 3 slots? Senegal has never performed well at the 17 level like Nigeria. The same thing to Gambia. Why will they have 3 slots? Why will this our own only 2 slots? That's why I said that where Amaju Pinnick should actually put his mouth. It's not putting his mouth there. Or Ibrahim Gusso. It's really unfair. I've argued this thing with people in the past. Say, oh, why can't you also go and qualify? See, West African B is the most difficult if you want to qualify out of that zone. Because you face Ghana, you face Ivory Coast, you face Burkina Faso. These are the teams you expect to play the World Cup. So also too, CAF to do the needful, but because we don't have good representation. All we just do is that one. Okay, if you have somebody that cannot even do interview, you cannot even grant a live interview, how will you go and talk in front of in CAF? You cannot even do live interview. So it's a big thing. We need to deserve better representation. Somebody needs to speak for us. Somebody needs to speak for us. You cannot say Wafu Zombie. See, that these women before, they were doing zona. And Nigeria had to play against Ghana, remember? Play against Ivory Coast because of qualify. Yeah. Imagine beating Ghana. Ghana finished third. The last woman, WAFCON. Ghana finished third. We had to beat Ghana to qualify.
Yeah.
So what they are doing for this zona thing is so bad. Because there's money in the pockets, they cannot talk again. So, in my opinion, see, that's why I say that with due respect, I tell you maybe a content creator or a journalist too. Journalist actually, a content creator. People don't ask the right questions. I've never read about these things before on the dailies, on the internet, about the rot, about this injustice that CAF is doing. We need to talk about it. The only acceptable area I can accept this zona is when you are doing what? Sham tournaments. Because it's just Africa and things like that. But these tournaments, see, they are cutting the supplies that our talent factory. They are destroying it because West Africa, we rely solely on our 8th grade. We don't have the league. We don't have the money to run the league. If you like go and bring Dangote to go and run the league, they will chop in money. We cannot run league very well. South Africans and North Africans are better when you want to run the league than North Africa. Our league is now the best. Ivory Coast was once the best, but it was only Ivory Coast. Senegal, you can mention Senegal club. John the Ark, what like they call for Champions League? But Senegal kept on producing players for both Chan, and 17, and 20. So this age grade that we have, CAF want to destroy it fully. And I think that somebody to speak for us is very important. I rest my case.
Well said, well said. We hear you, and somebody definitely needs to speak for us in these rooms. It matters. Emmanuel says no talent in Nigeria. All of them want to turn to TikToker. Shout out to Remy Ali for the support. I appreciate you. Charles says when the NFF leader is a pure illiterate, this is his last term. I am hearing rumors that they may stay until 2030.
No.
No. You
He
can't
will
do
stay.
more than the constitution allows.
Mm-hmm.
Sports Grinder says Smith is correct. 2017 just luckily coincided with diaspora and the coming of age of the 2013 and 2015 under 17 teams.
17. That's it.
Deep mess. Someone's IoT is a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I'm a content creator, a football fan with a little bit of knowledge here and there and a little bit of network here and there. But I did not train to be a journalist. I did not go to journalism school. I have my undergraduate degree in computer science. So
Me too. I want to declare it here too. I'm not a journalist, so I've not studied, I didn't have any training. So people should not say I'm a journalist. I'm in the industry. So I don't want to say it because people start saying that you are not trained. You could say something. For me, I've seen journalists practice in the UK, even in Ghana. They speak to power. They ask questions. But these people will just sit down there. You know, if you go to Super Eagles press conference, IoT, you will vomit. The level of questions our journalists are asking.
See,
IoT, you will vomit. Even see, one guy asked a question that all is one season journalist, one lady said that they asked NHS, say yes, welcome. You go to fix our floor. I think that's what she said though. You go take us to World Cup. That's what the coach was asking Eric Che. This was just nodding his head like this. Citizen journalist. I don't know the type of grade they give them in the is it not NIS, is it NUG? I don't know. Ask the right questions. For me now, IoT, how many journalists can you read from in Nigeria? Want to learn from?
I mean, there's a handful of them, but only a handful for the total number of journalists. See, you know, and it's even just basic. That's why even some of the people that quote unquote can be annoying or can be controversial, you even still have to appreciate them because at least they know their work. People like Osasu Obi-Wan.
Osasu is good.
Even though he can be a very annoying man,
controversial,
but he knows the ethics. He knows how to ask the right questions and how to do things. And sometimes I feel like he should be a bit more informed than he is. But nevertheless, you can.
He doesn't check his fast too.
But you can trust him being a professional journalist. You know, it's certain things that you can just do. Like whenever, like I've never been to a presser for the Super Eagles. Unfortunately, I haven't. But whenever they send me the videos, and then the video starts playing, and you're hearing all the noise, and you can just picture the chaos that is going on inside our room, and you just wonder that this is a very basic thing of if you are somewhere for something professional, there should be decorum. You should be able to go there and just keep quiet. Any of these journalists that are making noise in those rooms in Nigeria, if they somehow get a press pass to be able to attend a game against maybe Chelsea versus Man U, you cannot go to the press conference room in Stamford Bridge and go and be making noise. Maybe you can be talking to somebody before, but once the coach walks in, starts the presser, everybody knows to keep silent. But this one, Nigeria will be doing press conference. Eric Shell will be talking. People are gisting in the background. People are gisting and they are talking. And you just be wondering, what's going on? Like, why can't we do the basic things right? See, whenever we talk about these things, some people in the Nigerian media always get upset. They'll say, because you are abroad, you think you're better than us. This, that one. But it's just the basic things that people just lack. And again, a lot of people don't understand the ethics of journalism. And unfortunately, this is the reason why people like Sulaiman always have issues with all these Nigerian journalists. Because a lot of people that call themselves journalists, they don't actually have what it takes to be journalists. It's just maybe you were looking for a job after university. Okay, you got hired by one TV station or something, and now you call yourself a journalist. But you're not actually trying to learn to be a journalist. You're just somebody that got a job and feels that now you can put yourself on the same, in the same breath as those that actually went to school and studied it and know what it is to work that job. So, that's why they say at the end of the day, they say education is tailor and fashion designer, the difference is education. Electrician and electrical engineer, the difference is education.
Mechanic, mecho,
And
and
see,
mechanic.
that's the reality of mechanical engineer. The difference is education, because having the right education changes everything from your perspective to your demeanor to everything, And sometimes, education is not always formal education in the classroom, but for a lot of things, you need that formal education for some things in this world.
Mhm.
And even if you are learning on the job, they say sometimes you fake it until you make it, but at least fake it. Some of these people, they don't
Yes.
want to fake it. They just go there and they just do it.
Just-
See.
I wish them well.
Okay, let's move on. Do I have any other super chat comments to take? Let me see.
Guys, we're going to 30 today. You are still on 6, guys. 30. If you don't super chat, we will not answer your question.
Folari Yusuf from all the way in Australia says, I hope Chukwueze starts against Gabon. Big up, guys. We're about to get into the Gabon Super Eagles conversation. But yes, like Smith Layi said, guys, send super chat, support the channel, support what we're doing. The super chats go a long way to help the channel grow, to help us grow, guys. For the number of people that are watching today, the super chat numbers have been very low. So, guys, support. Where are our high rollers, the big ballers? Support. Send super chat.
The big
Goes a long
dollars,
way.
yes.
Like the video as well. Subscribe to the channel. Sometimes the people be complaining that advert is plenty. All right, you don't want to lose super chat. You don't want to watch adverts. You have to support us one way, one way or the other. But personally,
by force.
But personally, I would rather there be no adverts, because if you are watching us now and then an ad hits, you are going to now maybe miss 1 minute or 30 seconds of what we're talking about before you reconnect after the advert. But then, if people don't support with enough super chats, we can't turn off the ads, because then if we turn off the ads completely, we'll just talk for 2.5, 3 hours and essentially gain nothing. And at the end of the day, guys, I know sometimes people look at content creation and what are you doing? I just online, I just talking, blah blah blah. But it's a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. The preparation that goes into is the groundwork, the everything. So, guys, please, if you have the means, support with a super chat. It goes a long way. It helps to grow the channel. It does a lot. Somebody said I have YouTube Premium. Yeah, if you have YouTube Premium, that's good enough for you, not really for us. but yeah, okay. Let's move on quickly. Smilai, let's get into the Super Eagles talk. So we were hoping that by today, the Super Eagles squad list would have been released already. But unfortunately, we haven't got it yet. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. Maybe we'll get it in the 2 days from now. We know that it's 1 week until camp opens, and it is 10 days until we have to face Gabon. Let's talk about the squad. So, 23 players to be called up for this game.
25.
25? Why are they taking it up?
Because it's a tournament.
Okay.
So it's like a 4 years.
Okay, fair enough. So 25 players. Okay. So let's talk
about the flight to Monaco is very cheap. Sorry.
Okay, so let's talk about players that we think should or could make the squad. Who will be in, who will be out? 3 goalkeepers. Smilai, who are your 3?
I think Maduka Okoye, who actually was made the list. I think Ebenezer was relieved that Okoye came back from that ban and he started straight away, and he has been very good. It was even team of the season, it's not season, week against Juventus. He made like maybe 8 saves, and this so well against Juventus. He also got the clean sheet against Atlanta. I was so impressed with him, and I think that he's going to be back because of the tanks that he's been throwing. Something about it, and you just throw the baby with the bat water. You can't do that. You also still bring Kabali back, and for me, it's because when Wabali was behaving, I think it was Omasoge that was coming up. That tells me that in the sense of Okoye and Maso Basuge is like the second choice goalkeeper, not Ademola. So that's the reason why I think the coach recalled the Sigida Beast as a goalkeeper. Abasoge, Okoye, and Wabali.
I think I would have to agree with you on that one. I would like to advocate for Adebayo Adeleye, but the reality of it is that he doesn't even play for his club. He plays in MPS Volos in Greece and he's not playing. So between him and Obasoge, it's hard for me to look at any statistical thing and say, oh, this justifies this other person or the other. And if Eric Schell has seen both of them in training, I'm sure that the fact that Adeleye is like what 5'9", or no, maybe like I don't know, he's not that tall, shall we know that? Maybe the fact that he shouldn't have most goalkeepers maybe does not work in his favor. Who knows? And Amas Obasoge has been in the team for longer than Adeleye, and has been in the team more often. So Okoye, Onwabali, and Amas Obasoge, I will agree with you on those three goalkeepers. Okay, defenders. So for a 25-man, how many defenders are we taking? 7 or 8?
Yeah, always go be at least 8.
You say at least 8.
At
So
least
two
8.
for every position in the
Every
defense.
position, yes, because it's a 25-man list. You want to take 8 or 9.
Okay, so let's say 8 defenders. Like, who are your 8 defenders?
So for me, because all I know is actually what out injured and Felix Agu. So it's gonna make it a lot easier to pick. So right back, I think it's gonna be Fredericks and Osai Samuel. Let's go come as left back. I think I hope Stedy's not injured. I think he's going to come in alongside Bruno Imechi. I think he's getting games now. Slightly, Bruno Imechi getting games now.
His competition got injured in Olympiacos.
I hope he has been doing well too.
Yeah, no, he had a good game this past weekend. Yeah.
Yes. So which actually was very good, and he's in the central defense. So I think despite that he's suspended for the game against Gabon, I think Semi Ajayi will still actually make the team. So I think Semi Ajayi, Kevin Bassey, William Trust Ekong will actually make that team. So I'm hearing about a surprise invitation, which cannot clarify now. That Maurice James of Wolfsburg, that he got invited. I was surprised.
Has his FIFA this thing?
It's not play for Germany at any level.
But is it not? Okay, I don't know. Let's see.
No, if he's got a Nigerian passport, that's all.
No, okay.
Good. It's not registered. He's got a Nigerian passport, that's all. So I'm hearing that Maurice James, there's no, but it's either Chidozie Awaziem actually what comes back, but I think Awaziem, I don't know, maybe to say this thing, but that maybe probably he wasn't injured. He said he was injured in the last 2 games we played. That's why he did not come. So, but he played, I think, week after. So that is the reason why I don't know, maybe Awaziem will make it. I think he also got injured too. He wasn't part of the team that lost their last game this weekend. So maybe probably, well, I'm hearing somewhere that maybe probably Maurice James actually was made the team. But just talking about Maurice James, he was meant to come for Unity Cup. I think at that time he went for his wedding. So maybe that's it. But for you to bring a player that these players are meeting for the first time
for crucial matches,
crucial World Cup qualifier, and they are displaying African football for the first time. I hope he's not like this statue made of mud and you want to go and throw in the ocean. That is you really want to destroy everything. So, but I will go for Chidozie Awaziem.
Yeah, I think I had Bruno Zaidu left backs, Frederick Osai right backs, Basi Ekong Ajayi Awaziem. That's what I had earmarked. For me, those are the people that I would expect. Unfortunately, we don't really have that many options outside of those people. Like, if not them, I'm trying to think of it. Who, Igbo is still injured, so it's not really in the picture right now. Who else would realistically be in line to get called up? Trying to think. I don't know if anybody can think of any, like, who else would be in line in a match like this. I really just can't see it. So I think if it calls Maurice James, that's going to be a shock to me. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how he would fit in that quickly, but we shall see.
Maurice James is I don't like to be a tough boy. When it jumps, will break your leg. Like it's like the Balogun.
Hmm.
He's a very, very tough player and he's tall. So for me, Maurice James is a tough player. In fact, out of the German boys there, I prefer Maurice James. I think he's going to complement Kevin Bass well.
Hmm.
If he got invited, though, that's just a rumor.
I see a lot of people are asking questions about, but people are not asking questions with
With
your.
super chats, go answer with super chats. And super big bowlers, come on.
Okay, but let's go to the midfield. So if we're taking 8 plus 3 goalkeepers, so we have 11 spots gone. So we
11
have
spots.
what, 14 spots
For the
left.
spot left, yes.
So how many are we going in midfield? 5
I
or
think
6?
Six.
6 in midfield. Okay,
Yes.
so who would you select in midfield?
I think number one
Iwobi, Ndidi, Onyeka.
yes,
3.
it will be Ndidi Onyeka. And
Onyeka is back.
Onyedika is back. So I think this will probably make it to. I think
Oh.
what I'm hearing, I think Onyedika is part of the reason why the list is not even out yet. Maybe probably they really want to
They wanted to
if he's
confirm.
fully confirm that he's fully fit. I think he has declared himself fit to play against Barcelona. And Boniface is saying that
He played in their game this past weekend.
yes. So and I don't know, maybe he's going to start, in that game. But for me, I will pick him. I will still pick him. I just think
the last 2 spots. Who do we select in the last 2 spots?
I go for Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, and Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, and it's very tough for me to speak. I think Ebenezer Akinsanmiro, there's no other person to actually want to even pick, apart from Ebenezer Akinsanmiro. So I don't want to pick Alassane Yusuf. He's going to come late again. So you see, I don't know who books his flight. We fly from somewhere to somewhere to somewhere to somewhere before actually what arrives. So I think we probably can do.
Well, Alassane Yusuf might even his season is over in MLS. They did not qualify for playoffs. So it might not be. It might already be in Nigeria, sir.
Or you might even be Morocco now, sir, waiting for this to come out. So and there's also a news about this boy. I don't know if you know the boy. It's called David Moses.
The Slavia Prague boy.
The Slavia Prague boy.
I like him.
So that he's part of the expanded 35-man list. But will he make the 25?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
So I think I put 5 midfielders.
Yeah, 5. You don't have a 6th?
I don't have a 6th. So we're going to pick
okay. I mean, I went. It will be Ndidi Onyeka Onyedika. Akinsanmiro. I also have Akinsanmiro here because I think is when you ask me,
I think he got a call up.
I said he's next in line. Akinsanmiro is next in line. If you're looking at the midfield options that we have, he's playing in the top 5 league. He's actually putting some quality performances. He's next in line. But I also have Crisanto Suchi. No, you don't have Uche? You don't think they didn't call him last time? Backdoor use that last time, but
I think with what I'm hearing, the major problem is having in Palace is what is happening here, and I don't want to people start attacking you now because you said this thing. You said this thing several times. You said it times without number, like you have watched this guy, but you don't know how he's going to play for Super Eagles. And based on insights of this too, the coach doesn't know what to do with him. Will you bring him when you need goals? I don't think the coach will say you want to bring him when you need goals.
Yeah.
Will you bring him to start? I believe that Adam's ahead of him. And also, even Lookman is coming back, ahead of him. Will you put him in midfield? He cannot play in the midfield. With due respect to him. So where will he play? In Palace, as being as a right winger, as a right wing by Palace. And he spoiled the video when he went after Luis Kelly for Arsenal. We saw that. So, in my opinion, I don't know what to use him for directly. I don't know. I don't know. Can he top strike? I know he can hold the ball well up front, but the issue is that with this form that Victor Osimhen is in currently now, he don't want to. He doesn't make runs the way Ako normally make dummy runs. has another problem.
Hmm.
So he's a good player, but it reminds me of, I don't want to say it, it's like old fashioned.
See, you know what I think with Cristiano Suchi? With all due respect to him, it's a similar issue with what we're saying about, or what I have said in the past about why Ndidi cannot play for a big club. Uche playing for Nigeria now. Uche will be useful in a game where Nigeria is not going to dominate. Nigeria is not going to impose themselves. If we are playing maybe at the World Cup and we are playing against Argentina or something, and you want somebody that is a physical presence that can rough up the Argentine defenders, have a presence around, be strong, can hold the ball sometimes. I can play him as the second striker there and say, you know what, this guy can be a physical force and just help us to win some balls and then lay it off to the more skillful, more inventive players. But in a team like Super Eagles going up against other African nations where we expect to have the lion's share of possession, we expect to be the better side, we expect to go and play our game. Like you said, if we're looking for goals, Uche is not who you bring on saying, okay, I know this guy is going to score me a goal. If you're looking for creativity, he's not the guy that you play and you say, I know this guy is going to create something for others. And even in the midfield, if you're looking for a presence in the midfield or to win the ball back, to play box to box, he doesn't quite offer you that. So he's a bit of an enigma. You don't know exactly how you're going to use him. But I think if it was a game that we're going to be more on the defensive, he would almost fit in well for us. I mean, with that being said, I still think that he would get caught up. Maybe we shall see. I mean, maybe he doesn't get caught up. But for me, I would rather take 6 midfielders and take 9 attackers than take 5 midfielders and take 10 attackers. Because 10 attackers, we know that if we take 10 attackers,
who is your 6th midfielder?
Iwobi, Ndidi, Onyeka, Onyedika, Akinsanmiro, Uche. 6.
So where do you want to play Uche in midfield?
I don't know, but let him be there.
So be there for him. Then why can't you pick me then?
He said I can't pick you. No, I don't know, but let him be there. And in case I somehow say Ndidi and Iwobi are the 2 starters, we know. If you want to take Ndidi off, you bring on Onyeka. If you want to take Iwobi off, you bring on Onyedika. Then Uche and Akinsanmiro can be learning work.
For me, I think, I agree with you 100% that at least there's something that is a name that can still contribute to the team. Because I'm thinking that he worked well against Russia in the second half alongside Okoye. So maybe probably the way Osimhen plays, it might really actually affect the way it works. But for me, I think that the people that have been struggling under Erichel, this guy and Bashiru, you don't really know exactly where they will play, in this Erichel's formation. Bashiru and this guy. Well, Bashiru is injured now. I think because Bashiru is injured, Uche might probably get into the team. So for me, they want to know now.
Yeah.
Uche can just come and just be maybe probably he will need him for to pin someone like Wan-Bissaka down, But if you could get to the second game.
Okay. Forwards.
Yes.
So we have 9 forwards to choose. You have 10 because you only chose 5.
I chose. No, I think I have.
You chose 5 midfielders, so you have 10 forwards. No.
No.
You chose 5, so you have 9 forwards. Me, I chose 6, so I have 8 forwards to choose.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go first. See, for me, forwards, I think obviously Simon, Lookman, Osimhen, Ako, Chukwueze. 5. 3 spots left. I don't did there already. Arokodare. I don't did there already. Olusegun. Is that 8 spots and I don't know?
I think my Paul Onuachu.
You think they'll go back to Paul?
I think they'll probably go back to Paul Onuachu.
Interesting. I didn't think of that. I mean, I'm happy. I like Paul. If you guys know I've defended Paul in the past. Murphy is not fit, so Murphy will probably not be there. Onuachu, okay, Onuachu. But who will be your 9th strike forward?
Okay. Well, I'll keep myself. So I'm going to put Uche as a forward there. See if I'm not going to put it. I will probably pick Victor Osimhen. As usual. If he's not playing, we should not go and play the playoff. Victor Osimhen, Tula Rogodare, Onuachu. Then I will pick Samuel Chukwueze, Lookman, Moses Simon. I think these are actually what I've picked 6 now. Yeah. So Uche Santos.
Okay.
That's going to be 7. Then I actually now need 2 more. So this part I just go with 23 players and just leave that 25. So who can actually fit into? For me, I know Olusegun. I'm not just convinced with him,
I mean, boy, he's already in the team, so
he's already in the team, but it's just the way he played, the way he got what he did with the ball when he got the ball, Not really impressed with it. If you want to win this tournament or want to win this playoff, I'm not just convinced with Tella got muscle injury, so Tella is not going to be fit. Who am I going to actually add? I've already maybe I'm going to add Olusegun. Then who else again can we actually add? So Akwa Adams.
Did you already call Akwa?
I think I called Tujaro.
Wait, okay. Let's look at it again. So we have Simon, Lookman, Osimhen, Chukwueze, 4.
4.
You say yeah. Akwa. Tolu 5.
5.
Onuachu 6. You say Uche 7.
7. The Olusegun
8. The Akwa 9.
9, yes.
So you put Uche as you took Uche from midfield, you put Uche, and then you added Onuachu.
Onuachu, yes. I'd love to put Chidera Jukete actually, but it's just because that it's not doing enough to get to that team currently now, honestly.
Yeah. So we're going to have how many strikers is that? Osimhen, Akwa, Tolu, Onuachu.
Onuachu.
Osimhen, Akwa, Tolu, Onuachu. That's 4.
Yes, that's 4.
4 number 9.
Yes. Which is not bad. So you have Lookman and Chukwueze, Lookman and Simon on the left. This guy on the right, Chukwueze and Olusegun on the right.
Olusegun on the right. And then 4 number 9s.
4 number 9s, yes.
And then Uche everywhere.
Everywhere, yes, everywhere. So for me, I think because I try to look at it. So people are saying that we have players. Which players we have? This is one that we are struggling to pick players now. We struggle to pick defenders, struggle to pick midfielders, struggle to pick forwards.
Defender is because of injury.
Who?
Olaino is injured now.
Yes, they have come in for yes, Olaino, yes.
If Olaino was there, then Frederick would be a centre back, and then
how many centre backs do you have?
4 centre backs now. You mean total?
Yeah, total. And that's Super Eagles material, Super Eagles players.
I mean, Super Eagles material is relative. Basi, Ekong, Frederick, Awaziem, Shemi Ajayi, 5. Who else is there?
So if any of them is injured, even now, Ekong is like a time bomb now, waiting to happen.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
It's still skippable.
I know it's skippable, but the issue is just that the level of own goal is scoring now. Ekong is not scoring again; it's scoring own goal. He said he scored own goal on Friday. Did you report it? Did you post it? I don't think he posted it though. I don't think he posted it though. No. I've not seen it though. This man, don't talk about Aribio here. This man, so can you put him on the timeline?
Oh, it's Ryan. Tella is injured. Tella cannot be in the team. Ejuke is. He needs to step.
But you're not really sure.
The next in line for defense will be what? Unwaiwu, maybe. If they are looking at somebody like David Moses, then they will have Unwaiwu on their radar as well, by virtue of Kuyos.
See, if Super Eagles has turned to Unwaiwu, see, I'm not going to say anything.
Who else now? Who else? We don't have options.
We don't have options again. That's the problem. This 2K, did you ask him that why they didn't move last summer? I didn't know that you're going to interview him that day because there was that he was declared wanted. You know that?
Yeah, when he was in Aimba.
Do you ask me about that?
That was when he ran away to do his trials now.
Yeah, that was right. It was a clear
Yeah,
one there.
he ran away to do his trial. I did not want it to be
Please,
put
please,
like
when we
that.
talk about Otele, Otele is not super good ready.
Mm.
Someone say Osuji. Osuji for what?
Nah, Osuji that just
Now,
started playing.
it's not even play for Club Brugge.
Let me see. I thought I saw a comment here that I wanted to. Okay, so James Oboji says Zedu did not make the bench this weekend. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about the fitness of Zedu Sanusi.
Yeah. But it's
Um,
not report. It's not reporting will be injured.
Ayodele, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Guys, we are still on 8. We are going to 30. Guys, the big eaters, come on. Don't go and buy one partner 9, 10 times. Don't say that you want to.
Well, we really don't have that many options, Sha, to choose from in the
we don't
absence
have
of
that many.
these our
Okay,
players.
so
Midfield, next in line in midfield is Alassane Yusuf.
somebody says Shola Gundana. You say, oh my God, you God Almighty. Ah, look, Super Eagles have turned to Shola Gundana.
Okay.
Ah.
Let's see. Not too many. There's no other support that's going to take. Let me see. Someone say from please. You know what I love about Nigerian fans? If they watch one match and they see one guy with a Nigerian name that does well, the next thing is that the player should be in the Super Eagles. But that also shows
Mm-hmm.
the level of our football. Now any half performance like this, Super Eagles straight.
Even the
But we,
boy Moses, I don't think he should be called up because he's still settling into the Sparta Praha,
the
Slavia Praha.
Slavia Prague is just
Yes.
become a first team and regular
Mm-hmm.
starter for them. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even the truth is that I mean I've watched a few of his games. I've looked at his video back. I still think he needs to improve. You know,
Uh-huh.
again, I'm skeptical about. I can't lie, like I'm quite skeptical about that Czech league because we've seen even Igor Ogbu has played in that Czech league. He don't reach how many years now. You know,
Uh-huh.
he's still not a top level. Still not a top level defender. Let's. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Slavia Prague are playing against Arsenal tomorrow. Let's
Mm-hmm.
watch him against Arsenal. Let's even see if maybe he can against Declan Rice in midfield. Let
Mm-hmm.
us see what he can do and if he can
Mm-hmm.
hold his own against a top level opposition. Because the same thing with Igor. I was saying about Igor before he got his Spirals call up. That yeah, so he's doing well at Slavia, but the few times that he played the Europa League and he met the likes of Lukaku and all the rest of them, you could see that more level
Mm-hmm.
pass level, you know. So with David Moses, like let's see what he can offer. He's had consecutively good games, but he's
Mm-hmm.
played against Bani Kostrava, he's playing against Sigma Olomouc. You know, he played against Atalanta in the Champions League. You know, but Atalanta, I don't. There's nothing that you expect from Atalanta.
Somebody said that if you know, I know about 4 players that are waiting for us to qualify for the World Cup. You see, you don't know yet.
Can switch
Eh?
so that they can
Yes.
switch.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Charles says, yo, yo, we're in a big mess. We are not producing quality players. This is
Yeah.
serious. I fully support the protest they are planning to have. Who is protesting?
Oh, there have been counter protests in Sokoto about 2 days ago that we should leave NFF alone. No, they're doing a very good job. Oh. There have been counter protests in Kebbi too. Say, Kebbi, NFF is the best thing. This is a government organization. Nobody could see all those protests. It's good though, but the issue is just that they have politicized everything.
Mm,
They have politicized everything. They have politicized everything.
mm.
I
Well,
just hope that they have politicized everything. When I say that we don't have players, some people are arguing with me. You really don't see that.
Mo,
The
thank
truth
you,
is
Mo.
here.
Someone said, I don't forget Bami. Bami has not started playing for his new club now. Maybe they are still doing his visa or something.
Eh?
No, I said Bami has not started playing for his new club.
Mhm.
Maybe they are still,
Those people will give statement now
they are
after
still
this.
processing his documents.
Maybe that's where it's documented. But I think it went there now.
Has he gone already?
I think it went there sometime now. It's 2 pictures. I think it's 2 pictures.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm waiting. When he starts
I think
playing, then we'll talk about him again.
I think it's two
But
pictures with it.
he will not shall
So
be eligible for the next under 20. I mean, so
yeah, it's over age. Yes.
we'll move.
So people are thinking that I'm joking when I say that there's no player again. We struggle. I don't know the 80 player that is born in the
Okay.
We
We
are
have
struggling.
we have 10 minutes left. Let's take calls. The link has been posted. If you have any comments to make, if you want to join us and give your opinions, feel free, feel free to call in now. We have 10 minutes to go. So depending on the number of people that we have waiting, then if it's only one person, then the person will have the full time to talk. But yes, feel free to call. Make sure that you have your camera on. Make sure you have a good mic. We can hear you. We can see you properly. Make sure you are fully clothed, in good lighting, and we'll bring you on to share your thoughts on any of the topics that we have discussed. Some of you will not leave super chat question. You'll now come on live and now start asking questions that are other topics. So please, if you want to give your comment, let your comments be on stuff that we've discussed today, any of the topics that we discussed today. Thank you very much, and yeah, we'll see how many will take. And if we're able to finish in the next 8 minutes now, we'll actually be under 2 hours, which would be very, very beautiful because we haven't done that in a long time. Okay. Uche is waiting. Uche, welcome. You are muted, Uche. We can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the team. I remember in 2005, the World Cup qualifiers, especially the game against Algeria. I think in that team we had Yusuf Aila, we had Okocha, we had Mikel, we had Christian Obodo, we had Wisin Oruma, yeah, and some other guys then. And you could see that like Okocha and Oruma were going out, and you saw new replacements. You could see Obodo coming, you could see Mikel coming, you could see Ayla coming at that period. So there was more like a rotation, and that was shall I say, star-studded team. But of late, we do not have that. Just as you guys were mentioning, we couldn't pick up names. We're
But I
struggling.
want to ask you a question, Uche.
Yes.
You know, you have mentioned Oruma playing for Marcel.
Yes.
Which has played for PSG before. He was now in both in there.
Yes.
Where was Obodo playing? Fiorentina
moved. There was a period moved to Udinese. Ayla was playing for Dynamo Kiev.
Yeah, he was playing against Real Madrid.
Real Madrid
in the Champions League.
In Champions
So
League.
let's continue.
Yeah.
So that's the level of players you are talking about.
That we had, yeah. So, but now we are just having players playing for Pisa, playing for Regram in what's the name, Belgium, having players play for Club Brugge. So this is what we have right now. So it shows that we have dropping in standards. So for me, in the midfield, I'll pick what's his name, Akinsanmiro. Akinsanmiro has to come in. I actually enjoy what he does in the midfield. I've been watching his games, and the way he's very calm on the ball. He's very calm. There was this play he did with his defense. In the last game, he kept passing the ball. When he saw the opportunity, then he played the vertical pass to the midfielder at the opposing side. So he's very, very, he knows his surrounding, especially in that midfield. So I'll definitely pick him. I saw what's his name, Victor Moses at against Atlanta.
David Moses.
David Moses. I'm calling Victor Moses, my bad. So David Moses, I saw his game. Yeah, he played as a wing back. He didn't play as a midfielder that day. So I can't ascertain whether if we bring him to the middle, he's going to do well. So we'll have to see more games. Maybe the game against what's his name, Arsenal. We'll see whether he can hold his own before we invite him. So definitely that will leave, if we're picking 6 midfielders, that will leave that extra spot for Christian Uche. The devil that we know is better than the agent we don't know. So I think that will suffice. Then for the forwards, it would be wrong for us to have what's his name? Victor Osimhen, Ako Adams, Onuachu, and Tolu Arokodare. Those are tall strikers. We would need to mix it up. What's his name? Lookman can play as a second striker. So I feel like one of that position, one of either Tolu Arokodare or Onuachu has to be dropped. And then we give that spot to a winger so that we have bite.
Who's the winger?
I picked Ejuke because I know he's been playing. Even if he comes in second half in Sevilla, at least he's getting game time. He's not injured. He will give us something different. So that's why I will pick him. Not like he's the ideal guy, but I'll pick him because we have to. We cannot go with 4 hitmen that are very tall, like Tolu and Onuachu are the same specimen. They don't know how to. Their nothing skills is not up there. You won't say they are very good, although they have few good leg work. But they are just similar players, so it's better to drop one and pick one than leave that other position. Since what's his name? Lookman can also play as a striker or as a second striker, so it should be there. Then Moses Simon, Chukwueze. And yeah, that's basically what I would pick. How many is that? Is that up to 8?
Yeah,
we're struggling. So that's basically what I wanted to discuss about. Then what's his name? Ekong. They should try not to play him. They should try because he cannot play against Wisa. He cannot play against.
Wisa is not playing.
Okay, he cannot play against Buanga. He cannot. I saw Buanga. That guy can't run for days. Jesus. What's his name? He can't play against Abomayang. If you face Cameroon, he can't play against.
Seconds, please, Uche, so that I can bring.
Sorry. He can't play against this 19-year-old in Bayern Leverkusen. So Kufani. So these are the kind of players we are going to measure up against in this competition. So he needs to and God help us. People are saying they want to play Cameroon in the second at the final. They've forgotten that they have Baleba and Ngisa. So those are the variables.
I don't think Cameroon will escape through.
I just hope we let's face Gabon first because we did the same thing. Remember 98? Yeah, remember 98? We talk say we go face Brazil. We forget say Denmark get sand, get low drop, and we ended up losing 4-1. So yeah, so that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Uche. Always nice to hear from you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, fine.
All right. Okay, so 2 more people that will bring on, please, guys. 1 minute each, please, or 1.5 minutes, so that we don't run too long. Humble Henry, welcome.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Concerned about the players, what I will say is this: at the midfield, Onyedika have to be serious. I can't have Onyedika and I'll be looking for Akinsanmiro. No. Yeah, I have to be serious. Yes. And if the coach see at the training that Akinsanmiro is doing well than Onyedika, drop Onyedika, put him on the bench, put Akinsanmiro. I don't care. Wherever club you are doing. And I love what the coach is doing. Now, we can see that Musa is already gradually retiring. Omeruo is no longer there. Ihanacho, I'm so sorry, he's no longer there. So if you're not giving your 100%, I'm sorry. Yes, and I love what he's doing, making sure that all these new players, they are coming. And if you're not giving your 100%, you are not playing. And those players that you are going to see at the playoff, don't be surprised that 90% of them will be at the AFCON. Because if you are not at that playoff, I don't think that you'll be at the AFCON. That's the only thing I can say. But another thing is, whoever is a friend towards him, tell him to be serious. Because it's a competition. I don't care whether you have been in Super Eagles or this. If they come and pick your shirt, that one is your own cup of tea. I love where there is a competition. If there is competition, fine. And people calling Ejuke. Tell me who is going to replace? You have not done something that I have seen that he's doing well. I don't know who he's going to replace. If he's going to replace Chukwueze, fine. If he's going to replace Lookman, fine. Let him come. Let him show me something that, yes, I have done enough. Aquadam, you can't tell you are leaving Aquadams and putting Ejuke, or Moses Simon and putting Ejuke. Hell no, you can't do that. Let him show that you have done something. And I pity Uche. Uche's case have shown me that not every person deserves to be at Premier League. It's not every player is being designed to start Premier League. He would have stayed in La Liga and doing what he's doing. Now he's going to square one, and the AyoT say it already that you haven't seen anything special about him, and you have to put more. Otherwise, if the coach dropped him, I will support the coach. That's the only thing I will say.
All right. Thank you very much, Humble Henry. Always nice to hear from you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. And then, very quickly, John, welcome, sir. Your network, we cannot hear anything. Mr. John, your network is not working in your favor. Hello? All right, guys. It seems like connection issues are not working in John's favor today. So I don't know if he wants to, if I should give him 15 seconds to see if he can figure it out. Otherwise, we might have to wrap up for the evening.
Yeah.
But just for everyone, once the list is announced, of course, we'll post on social media. I'll probably do a video breaking down the squad list like I usually do. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed. If you're already subscribed, make sure you turn on notifications so that you know when that video drops. And yeah, of course, we'll talk about the game. We'll preview the game coming up against Gabon next week. I'm sure Smith Layi will do justice to it on Friday as well on the Friday Night Football Club. But next Monday as well, we'll be here previewing, looking forward to the game. I may or may not drop another video on that game as well. And then, depending on the results.
What about Watch Along? You want to do Watch Along with it?
We'll see. We'll see. You know, the thing is, that week is a busy week for me. I can't even lie. Because I'm traveling this week. I'm traveling on Thursday. And I'm going to be busy all the way through next week. So other than the day of the match, I'm not planning to do that much work. So I may or may not be able to do a watch along. I'll have to see. I don't want to promise now. If to say then don't drop like super chats, reach this level, I could have, maybe next Monday we'll set goal for watch along, and if they hit the goal next Monday, then I'll sacrifice. But yeah, regardless, even if I don't do a watch along for the game, I'll be live after the game like I usually am on the 13th to talk about it. But yeah, let me just see if Mr. John has fixed his issues with his audio. Hello, Mr. John. Mr. John, it doesn't seem like today is your day. I'm sorry. Okay, so without further ado, if you are yet to watch my interview with Chibuike Nwanwu, it's on our page now, it's on our channel, the home of Nigerian Football Podcast. Make sure you check it out. It told the story from Nigeria, you know, how we got into the NPFL, how we faked an injury to go for a trial in Austria, you know, got signed, won a trophy, his goals for the future, wanting to play for the Super Eagles, and so much more. So check out that latest interview on the YouTube channel now. Make sure he's not only we come for the live streams, but also enjoy the other content that will be there. And I have other interviews that I promised you guys that I'm sure that, you know, will still come during the course of this season. So as long as AyoT already has money, please leave super chat, leave super thanks, support the channel. Now work we do, you know, we're trying to run a business over here. So please, every little goes a long way. And like I mentioned at the start of the stream, we are hiring for content creator, we are hiring a graphic designer, and we are hiring a video editor. So if you have the skills or you know someone that has the skill and you are looking to be a part of a dynamic team, a growing team, an award-winning team, if you like Nigerian football content, you want to use your skills to, contribute towards the work that we do, send us a DM on Instagram at EagleStracker or send your portfolio to jobs@eaglestracker.com, and you will be rewarded. You'll be compensated. We are going to pay you a salary. So please get the applications rolling in, and help us to spread the word so that we can get quality people on the team ASAP. Okay, that's for that. We look forward to seeing the Super Eagles squad announcement. And we look forward to the games next week. And yeah, hopefully it's a joyous one for us. Smith Layi, final word from you today.
Yeah, another wonderful show. Fantastic discussing Nigerian football as always. And yeah, guys, just like the video, subscribe, and actually share the gospel very well. That's actually the most important thing.
Share the gospel. Yes. Thank you very much, guys, man. It's been a pleasure. Remember, we're live every Monday at 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Depending on where you are in the world, the time has changed. Some people is now 5 p.m. for you. Some people is now 6 p.m. for you. Some people it can be something else. So please, depending on where you are in the world, just make sure you know it is 10 p.m. Nigerian time, and you can do the time conversion from there to whatever vicinity or whatever part of the world you are in. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My name is AyoT. This is the Naija FC Podcast. My co-host